Good morning. Welcome to Horizon Person to Person podcast. Today I'm broadcasting live, and the reason why is I wanted to talk about self respect. And one of the ways in which I believe in self respect is to be as real as possible. It's loving yourself in spite of what others may perceive you as or impose upon you with their beliefs. I am constantly dealing with people who, for lack of better term, gaslight uh, and negate my value. And I understand it's because they don't understand their own value. They don't see it. So, you know, I'm okay with that in that respect, but it's frustrating for me when I hear someone say to me that my voice doesn't matter, that what I have to say isn't important. That's when I have to step back and say, you know what? My voice is important and I won't be silenced, and I'm not going to hide behind an avatar talking about the subject. Nearly once a month, I will go to different meetings for different things, different groups that I belong to. I have been in social service work as a volunteer since I was 11 years old. I have been volunteering at homeless shelters, community kitchens, for our parks and recreation departments, helping with teaching adult education. Um, you know, these things are really important to me, and helping people is really important to me. Everything I do focuses around raising voices, my voice and others' voices. Um, when I hear there's nothing out there, there's nothing good enough, what that tells me is that person doesn't believe they are good enough to find the good. Um, and that's in anything that we do. We, if we look for the good in ourselves and in others and in other things, we will see the good. If you're looking for the bad, that's all you're going to see. If you have a negative opinion of someone, why? What happened to cause that negative opinion? And, for me, I love basically everybody, but I will not accept and tolerate people who just refuse to see my value. I will be kind. I won't say anything in that moment. I'm not going to raise a scene. I'm not going to, internalize it either, but I am going to say something about it. We have to help people see other people's value, but we're not going to do that until we see our own value. So, what I'm asking for you to do today is to look at yourself in a mirror, in a reflection of some sort, even if you're just self reflecting with your eyes closed, like I'm doing right this second. You know, just do something that allows you to see yourself and then see the positive in yourself, see your self worth, and then make it a concerted effort today to try and see the worth of others. Tell someone, hey, I really appreciate how. I know you've been working really hard towards this. Acknowledge um, not their knowledge, their expertise, their years doing whatever it is that they're doing. Um, for instance, I have been leading meditation since 2004. I started in meditation. Well, technically, meditation is prayer. So when I was 5 years old, I learned to do the rosaries. And it was at my great grandfather's funeral. And I was really sad that my great grandfather had passed. And I remember him very well. And I can still see the wake to this day. And the Holy Mother, and for those who aren't Catholic who may not know this, the Holy Mother is the lead nun in a convent. So Holy Mother came to me and saw me with my mother and my brother, and we had the rosaries out, and she prayed the rosaries with us. And I'm not Catholic anymore. I'm going to be completely honest about that. But at that time, that meant so much to me. She saw the value in what my mother was doing, and she wanted to encourage us to heal from the pain of losing my great grandfather. So she prayed with us. And, I still find so much comfort in that. And that's when I started meditating, learning how to do the rosaries. Maybe not even doing them correctly, but just doing the Hail Mary brought me so much comfort whenever I was feeling stressed, whenever I was feeling alone. And I wanted to become a nun, you know? So, me meditating has been basically all of my life. I grew up in a very religious family on two sides. I had Protestants on my mother's side, Catholics on my father's side. My mother was trying to raise us Catholic because that was the rule back then. If you married a Catholic, you had to raise your children Catholic. And my mother converted to marry my father. So, my point being that it was instilled in me that prayer, that time to quiet our minds is really important when we're stressed out, when we're feeling sad or whatever. And as I got older and I started volunteering at a homeless shelter, I did this at age 11. Um, I learned so much about people and how people become homeless. And it's not always, back then, it wasn't drugs. That wasn't the primary reason why people became homeless. One person got kicked out of their house at 17 years old, just before able to graduate high school. So they were living in the homeless shelter, going to high school still, and working because their parents couldn't accept who they were. And back then, I didn't understand what being gay meant. So I will be honest about that. I grew up in a homophobic family. The slurs were crazy and cruel. And so I saw people's worth in that respect, like themselves. I saw them and I didn't question when they said, "Oh, it's because I'm gay." I didn't say, "Well, what does that mean?" I just listened, accepted what they had said, and then, you know, it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. And I wouldn't realize that I myself am part of the LGBTQ community for many, many years after that. Again, because of my upbringing. Um, and people have said to me, "You're not diverse enough. You're married to a guy." And this is part of the reason I wanted to be live today. Yes, I am married to a guy. Yes, I am LGBTQ. I am in a mixed orientation marriage. Does it matter which letters of the alphabet I am? No. But I will tell you that I am bisexual, transgender, and by transgender, I cannot have surgery because of health issues. So I chose gender fluid to try and be as androgynous as possible without having surgery. I don't subscribe to being male nor female. I'm just a person. And so when people interact with me, I just say I'm a person. I do give pronouns when people ask me. And again, these are all about self-respect and self-love. And, when people they don't have to comment. I don't need a comment of, "Oh, that's awesome," or "I support you." Don't say anything. Just accept. Just listen, accept. Okay. That's it. When someone says to you, "Okay, so I'm LGBTQ," great. That's just an identifier so you understand the community that they're coming from. You might have a slight bit of understanding of their background, things that how they perceive things, at least some things. And those are all generalized to begin with, get to know the person. And then you'll get to see, how they're diverse. And people will say, "Well, then you're, in a straight marriage." No, actually, I feel that I'm in a gay marriage, not a straight marriage. Again, this is another aspect that's hard for people to understand, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you understand it or not. My husband, it does identify cis straight male. And, again, that's about self-respect. I respect his view of himself, but he loves me for being me, not because of a label, not because of how I look, not because of, me wearing makeup or not wearing makeup, or wearing a dress or not wearing a dress. I will do things to make it easier on him for public events. I will go in the closet, so to speak, for certain things. And it just makes it easier. I don't need to explain myself every single time I go out, like, why aren't you wearing, a gown instead of a suit kind of thing. So, yeah, that's about self-respect, respecting my boundaries, respecting my marriage, respecting, what it means to be me and what it means for him to be him. And when people say I'm not diverse enough, it's because they themselves don't recognize themselves as being diverse enough. I am diverse. And there's things about me that I don't share that make me even more diverse. And again, it doesn't matter. Right now I'm not using oxygen, so you wouldn't know that I actually have a disability. I have a lung illness. These are just things that are part of who I am. You can't tell that I can't walk. I'm sitting in my gaming chair. I'm sitting in my homeschooling classroom. Um, you're not going to see all of the things that make me diverse in a 10-second or a 10-minute or a 10-hour clip. You're just not going to. You're going to see what you want to see for the most part. So it just accept people for being people, accept people for trying, for existing, and try to be encouraging. You don't have to knock someone else down to lift someone else up. I witnessed a situation where nothing was good enough for this person until. And I'm like, well, why wasn't anything good enough until? What weren't they seeing? Why weren't they seeing that? When someone says to me, um, I'm not used to seeing meditation people attending other meditation leader sessions. Well, why is that? Why can't a meditation leader attend another meditation leader sessions? I mean, it's meditation. Meditation is about helping others and helping people grow. So I understood that in that moment, that person wasn't comfortable having another person who's an equal to them. They're used to being above others, and that's okay. That's their role. They're a leader. But I see myself as a facilitator. I'm not a leader. I just facilitate a meditation session, and I help others who want to learn how to facilitate meditation sessions to do so. That's how I raise voices. We have to just try and better the world by bettering ourselves, by helping others any way we can, when we can. So I guess my takeaway from all of this is just try to see yourself today for who you really are. Look deep inside yourself and say, okay, this is what I like about myself. And then if you can, look deeper and say, this is what I don't like about myself. Like, I don't like that I'm heavy anymore. I didn't used to be heavy. So this is really hard for me. Again, I have an illness, and that's not an excuse. And yet it is an excuse because I can't exercise. I can't do a lot of things. And sometimes just breathing is as much as I can do in a day. Like, there are days where I can't get out of bed at all. I have to be in my hospital bed. Today is a good day, and I'm proud of that. I'm very happy for that. And on my good days, I want to share with everybody what it means to just take the day, and say, today is a good day. I'm going to do something to help others today. And that's what I'm doing. I'm taking my good day and I'm saying, okay, how can I turn what my experiences have been into something positive to help someone else? So just know that if people give you grief, if people are being hard on you, if people are not seeing your worth, it's not necessarily you. But realize that we are all human. We do make mistakes. We have our weaknesses, and we have to self-reflect on those. Um, I'm always trying to learn. That's why I go to other meditation leader sessions. I'm trying to learn, how do other people do things, you know? I was taught how to meditate as a religious person. And as I got older, I learned how to meditate as a spiritual person. And I am a spiritualist. And what does that mean? Well, it doesn't matter. It just means that I believe that all of us are spirits, you know? And however you view that, that's your choice. That's not me to impose on you, but I see us all as energy and spirits. So, but that's my take on things, and that may not resonate with you. And I accept that that's not going to resonate on a lot of people. And I accept that that's my view, you know? And I always say that, like, you have to pick what matters to you. You have to decide your worth. So just take today, try and do something for yourself, acknowledge your worth, and let go of anybody who doesn't see that, and give them the grace and space to have their views, their opinions, and remember their feelings are valid just like yours are. And that acceptance is critical, because if we don't go there, we're never going to find peace. We're never going to find contentment. We're never going to find anything good in this world. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and know that my spirit within me honors and greets the spirit within you. And that's what the word namaste means.